Hey guys, happy Monday. It is August 23rd and we're almost done with August. Jesus. Um, Coming into September and kids are back in school. Woohoo. Well, I think most kids are, depending on where you live, but I know I'm happy. I finally know what day of the week it is again. Um, when you work from home, that was like my marker. Like I know it's a weekday because she's at school. Um, so happy Monday. It's a new week, a new payday tomorrow. Um, and we always start off our Zooms. If you're new, welcome. Thanks for joining us. And we have these every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And it's always the same link, so you can save it. Always the same time, 7 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Central, 4 a.m. if you're me. But if you are brand new, um, or if you're not brand new, then we always start out our morning with gratitude. So if you guys have a gratitude journal, you're going to want to get that out now. And if you don't have a gratitude journal, that's okay. You can use anything you like. A pen, a piece of paper will work. And you're going to think about the last 24 hours and write down 5 to 7 things that you are extremely grateful for in your life. I just wanted to start off this morning by just sending out some love and prayers to the family of um, a friend of mine and a thriver that passed away 2 nights ago, battling stage 4 cancer. She actually found out she had cancer just in February. And, it's so it just brings everything into perspective when stuff like this happens, because she is a young mom of 2 boys, and like it's out of nowhere, like all the things that are happening in the world, and like just scrolling through social media and seeing people argue over stupid shit. And it's like, life is so short and you just never know what tomorrow is going to bring. And it's a sad day. It was a very, very, very sad day yesterday, especially when I'm telling you guys, like, to get news like that, terminal stage 4 cancer, and to be as positive as Jasmine was. And like, seriously, if you go look at her Facebook page, it's like, I don't know. I don't know how I would be in a situation like that, but I don't know if I'd be that positive. It takes a really special person to be able to look at life the way that she was living every minute of it. And she was a thriver till the end. Um, you can go look at her posts and tell that, and just a genuine good soul. So I just wanted to send out some love and prayers. And it brings me to really what I'm grateful for. When I'm really digging deep this past weekend, I'm just grateful for the fact that I get to breathe air another day, and that my family and kids are healthy and happy. And I don't want to take 1 second of that for granted, because I know how quickly it can change. You just never know. And I think that's why we all owe it to ourselves to live our lives every day to the fullest. That's going to bring me into today's topic. But I just was thinking about, so many of us are selling ourselves short. So many of us are not doing all we could be doing to live our best lives. And we're choosing it. We're waking up every day and we're making excuses, and we're not doing all we could do to be the best version of ourselves. And we know it. I know I'm not doing all I can do to be the best version of myself in all aspects of my life. And tomorrow it could all be taken away. And I don't know about you guys, but in Jasmine's memory, and in the memory of every single person who has battled something and has lost, you don't know what you have until you are at risk of losing it. And you don't want to ever get to a place where it's too late in your life to do things differently. Not when you have today. Start today, So I hope that you guys have taken some time this morning to really write down those 5 to 7 things that you're grateful for. And again, love and prayers to Jasmine's family and her sons who are so young. And I just don't even want to think about it anymore because I can't help but think about it. I thought about it all day yesterday. And it's just one of those things where you would do anything to help to change things and you can't. And it sucks. And life's just not fair sometimes. But with that said, it's definitely, I don't know, I find these things to be wake up calls for sure. So I thinking about just business and life and everything else. Y'all know that I'm an avid reader, and like honestly, I think about the last 12 years I've been in network marketing, and if I would not have picked up the first book that was recommended to me, which by the way was The Secret by Rhonda Burns, I have no doubt in my mind that there is zero way I would be where I am today. Like zero. And even if by some luck of the draw, I was here in this industry 12 years later without doing any self-development, I would definitely not be the leader and the person that I am. There's just no possible way. And people are always asking me, what are you reading and all of that. Well, I wrote down some things. There's a book that I read last month that's called Whatever It Takes by Brandon Bornancin. I'm not even going to try. So his name is Brandon, Bornancin, Bornancin. He's a CEO and founder of Seamless AI, top 50 LinkedIn startup. Anyways, it's called Whatever It Takes, Master the Habits to Transform Your Business, Relationships, and Life. And honestly, pretty easy read. I think I read it in 2 days, but I power books. Like even if they're big, I usually try to get them done quick. But it, like for anyone, I would say it's like a 2-day read if you were serious about it. And it's pretty straightforward. And a lot of the things in the book I had heard before, but because I've read so many books on this topic, I heard a lot of it, but it was a great refresher. So, but I feel like it's a really good beginning book for anybody that's just serious about success. Like you're serious, not have one toe in, not like, sometimes in, sometimes I'm out. Like you are serious, and it really is straightforward. And he's like, balls to the walls. This is what you got to do to be successful. But anyways, long story short, I wrote down some things out of the book that I kind of wanted to just talk about today because I thought, I'm ready to, especially with what's going on in the world, and then, the unexpected things that happen in this life. I'm done playing small. And I've been done playing small for the last 12 years. But sometimes I get in those places where I get comfortable. I think that happens to every person, human on the earth. And you got to pull yourself out of it. Like unless you just are fine with where you're at some point you've got to be like, okay, I'm done playing small. And I wrote down some things out of this book that I kind of just wanted to talk about. And one of the things he says is, make moves, not excuses. And we probably all heard before, if it's important to you, you're going to find a way. And if it's not important to you, you'll find an excuse. If you've been in this industry, you've probably heard that statement before. It's true, you guys. Every time I want to accomplish something, but I can't hit my goal, it's because I'm not making the sacrifices. How many of you guys like on today in the chat, would you agree that that's true of you? Like you're just not making the sacrifices. You're probably making a lot of excuses. Whatever you are not, whenever you're not hitting a goal, it's because you aren't putting in the work and the sacrifices that it's going to take to make it happen. You won't. You have to ask yourself, how important is the big goal you have? What are you willing to sacrifice to reach it? What are the steps needed to get started? Your ability to make moves towards that goal, it's going to bring you out and doing it, and the excuses will stop, and you'll kind of overcome that paralysis by analysis. You'll figure it out, right? If you truly want something, and I've always been a firm believer in that. In fact, if you tune into anything that I ever do, I talk about that a lot, that if you really truly want something, you find a way. Like, I think every person on here, if they look at their life, back on their life, and there's been something in their life that they wanted more than anything, somehow they made it happen. For the most part, they figured it out. The excuses there were no obstacles. They didn't make excuses at all. And I know that's true for me. It's probably true for you guys as well. So I just kind of want to start off by, that's one thing he pointed out in the book was, in order to see success with anything in life, you've got to make the decision that excuses aren't going to be part of that. So the other part in the book that he talks about, follow up and follow through. Okay. So to maximize success in sales, or your business or your life or job hunting, any of that, it's all about really following up. And so he talks about that there was this 2020 sales study that stated that 48% of salespeople never follow up with a prospect. 48%. I wanted you guys to hear these statistics. Okay. So 25% of salespeople make a second contact and stop. 12% of salespeople make only 3 contacts and stop. Only 10% of salespeople make more than 3 contacts, and 2% of sales are made on the first contact. 3% of sales are made in the second contact. 5% of sales are made on the third contact. 10% of sales are made on the fourth contact. 80%. Okay, it goes from 10% on the fourth contact to 80% of sales are made on the 5th to 12th contact. Now, again, if you have been in this industry, this is not the first time you're hearing this. You've heard this before, that it takes, I've mentioned this on several Zooms. Why do you think when you're watching a television show, you'll see the same commercial 3 times in 1 hour? Because these people that put millions and billions, some companies, into advertisement, they know that it takes the average person 12 times to see something before they even go, oh, what is that? Before they even start to show interest. That's not like a made up number. That is true. Studies and statistics show that fact. So if all of us on here, I mean, I guess the moral of the story is don't give up. Follow up and follow up and follow through. The numbers don't lie. Numbers don't lie. That's the one thing I've learned over 12 years is numbers do not lie. With that being said, who are you? Like, be real with yourself. And now it's gotten even harder, right? Because before, following up was, when I would say the word follow up 5 years ago in this industry, what that meant to me is that you were in someone's inbox pitching your business. Now, 5 years later, when I say follow up, I'm talking about building a relationship. I'm talking about, how is your kids today? Oh, where'd you get those tennis shoes? Oh, yeah, I went there too, and this happened. Like, just genuine conversations to build relationships. It's even more now because the way society is, nobody wants to be sold anymore. And the way that people have literally abused social media, it's people are sick of logging in because they feel like everybody's selling something. So now everyone wants genuine contacts. Everybody wants genuine relationships built. Nobody wants to feel sold. Now, the end result is everybody selling something, and the end result is people will buy from you, but you have to build those genuine connections first. So now when I talk about follow up, I'm saying, it's going to take you, 5, 6, 7 genuine connections, then for then even to somebody to ask, or for somebody to notice one of your posts about what you do as a business, right? Or whatever you're selling. So then that part of the follow-up starts. Okay, they finally asked me. Now I've got to touch base. So it's even harder. But at the end of the day, follow up and follow through is going to be your keys to success. There's only two in this industry of network marketing. And it's not being on this Zoom right now, and it's not knowing what's in your product, and it's not knowing, it's not wearing 10 patches a day. None of that's going to make you money. The two things that are going to make you money are adding to your network and follow up and follow through. That's it. That's it. If you're not doing those two things, you might as well hang up your hat. Unless you're just like, in this for the relationships and making $100 a month. I mean, that's cool. I'm down with that. That's the beauty of network marketing, is it's for everyone, whether they just want to dabble and treat it like a hobby, or they want to go all in and do it full time. It's for whoever. And even better, if you're with Lavelle, even if you're just in it for free product and the relationships, that's awesome too. We need everyone. But I guess I'm particularly talking to those people that really want to see success. And if that's you, I kind of feel like that probably is, if you get up every morning at 4, 5, 6 a.m. and get on a Zoom like this, I feel like you are looking for that next step. And so if you're trying to figure out ways around adding people to your network and follow up, it's just not going to happen for you. So at some point we've got to be able to, get real with ourselves and realize, okay, I'm going to have to do some things that I don't want to do, or that it's not the most fun, or, whatever that is for you, whatever your fears are, or you're trying to get over. But I mean, if you guys want to be successful, you have to prepare for a sacrifice. Everyone wants to make a lot of money, right? Who doesn't? There's nobody in the world that would say, nope, I don't want an extra cash. No, not me. I'm good. Even somebody rich as hell wants more money. Like, anybody wants more money, right? And we want to go all over social media and tell everybody how much money we're making. But the problem is everyone wants to be successful, but only a small fraction want to actually put in the hard work and sacrifice that it's going to take to make it happen. And I think that you have to decide what category you're in. Are you in the category of that very small percentage of people that are willing to do what it takes, or the people that are just going to continue to want it because everybody wants it? And I'm even going to go as far to say is most people probably deserve it in their own minds, but only the people that will actually work for it will get it. So, I don't care how good of a person you are. I wish life was dictated by what an amazing individual people were. Wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't it be awesome if, oh my God, so-and-so is such an awesome person, they would do anything for anyone and they were just rich because of it? Like, I wish life worked. I would be so rich. I'd be like ridiculously living in the biggest mansion ever. Like, but no, I wouldn't, because I am such an awesome person that I have never saved money in network marketing because I'm always helping other people. Like, you know what I mean? It just, you have to get smart all the way around. But at the end of the day, though, life doesn't work the way that it should. It works the way that it does. And in life, it costs money to make things happen. But not only does it cost money to have a good life and give your kids a good life, but it costs money to make a difference in the world. That's just facts, y'all. That is #facts right there. It costs money to make a difference in this world. The more money you make, the more of a difference you can make. So anybody that's, holding on to that fear of, I don't want to seem greedy, or I don't deserve it, or you got to get over that, because I have only done good with making more money. I have only been able to help more people. And I am not ashamed in any possible way when I get my paychecks on Tuesday. Well, sometimes I'm like, holy cow, I don't deserve this. But most of the time I know that I worked for every penny of that. And not only that, but I know that I put so much back into other people. And I love being able to do that. And I'd never be able to do that before. I could barely take care of myself. I couldn't even pay my own bills. I was borrowing money from people, and I thought I was a good person. Again, you don't make money. It's not dictated by how good of a person you are. Unfortunately, it's dictated by how hard you were going to work. And I finally realized that. It took me 37 years, but 37 years, I finally realized I've got to take matters into my own hands. And if I want something, I'm going to have to work harder than the next guy for it. But I'm going to be able to help more people that way. And I'm going to be able to do things in my life and make such a big difference. And it's just how the world works. And, as soon as I think we all come to grips with that, the better things get. He also talks about in this book, never quit. I think, we all hear that all the time. Don't give up, don't quit. Giving up on your goals because you had one setback. Have you guys ever heard this saying? Giving up on your goals because you've had one setback is like slashing the other tires on your car because you got one flat. You'd never do that. Get over it. And don't ever, ever, ever give up. I know it gets old, some of the things that you hear on these things, especially if you're not moving fast or at the pace you think you deserve. But the honest to God truth is you can't give up. It can't be part of your mindset. It can't be part of your vocabulary. It can't even be an option. And I think that once everybody on here understands that it just can't be an option anymore, your mind can never go there. Success is inevitable. To continue maximizing your success, you need new ideas and insights, things to, what are you doing different today? You can't get better if you close your mind to advice or feedback from people who can make you better. Always listen to your leadership and books and aggressively tune out the nasty little voice in your head that's telling you that you can't do it. Or even worse than your own voice is listening to what other people think of you, letting them bring you down. People that really are doing nothing with their lives. Like if you look at it, we're putting so much stock into what other people think of us. And if you really think, would you want their life? Like, unless you're willing to trade lives with that person, like, why would you ever in any way, shape, or form care what they think or say? But that's how we were all brought up, to care what other people think. The one that tries to rationalize why you're not good enough, why you can't make it, and all the other limiting beliefs that hold you back, if you let them, that little voice will infect you with doubts about your ability to succeed to the level that you want to reach every single time, whether it's your little voice or someone else's little voice. Shut those voices down after recognizing them for what they really are. And you want to know what they really are? They're small obstacles that you get over. You move past them. They're just another thing on the road to success trying to stop you. That's how you have to look at it. You got to embody a growth mindset. You need to genuinely believe you are still at the beginning of your growth and not the end. That's a problem for a lot of you guys. I hope you really heard that, because here's the deal. Many of you guys have had success with Lavelle, and that dwindled. And you're already looking at it as as good as it was going to get? Was that it for me? Can I get it back? You're already thinking like this is the end. No, it's just the beginning. If you believe you are at the beginning of your growth, you will stay absolutely committed to advancing what you're doing, your capabilities, learning new things, your commitment. Again, never quitting, like it's not even an option. You have to embody a growth mindset forever. I've been doing this 12 years and I'm never not in growth mode. There's never a part of me that says it's over, I'm done, I'm quitting, that's an option. I just don't even go there. Even if I get close to going there, all I have to do is think about waiting tables and bartending and never seeing my kids and crawling in through the one door of my car that opened. And I'm like, nope, never again. Whatever I got to do here, because that's not happening. No matter the job or your age or your background, you are at the beginning of your journey. That's a choice you make. You are at the beginning of your journey, always. I'm still at the beginning. It's been 12 years. I haven't even begun to master what I want to master. I have not created generational wealth yet. I didn't expect to in 12 years. Generational wealth. Do you guys understand what that word means? That means that my kids and their kids are set up. Well, guess what? That's not true yet. Now I'm leaving my kids a nice little nest egg, but not theirs. I'm not going to be happy till I've got generational wealth going on. And I didn't expect to have that in 10 years. Generational wealth takes time. I want you guys to think about how you have to self-educate and inspire yourselves every single day. You need to invest time in self-education and self-motivation every single freaking day. This could be reading a book or listening to an audiobook or watching a special training or getting on a Zoom like this in the morning, or inspirational, motivational video, or read a book, or whatever, like watching a documentary, articles, blogs, listening to other entrepreneurs. You're either moving forward towards your goals every day, or you're moving backwards daily. You get to decide. If you put in the work every single day to improve learning and motivation, you guys will achieve massive success. It's not a matter of if, but a matter of when. Keep learning and staying motivated every single day. Every challenge you guys overcome that you fear the most, then overcoming that's going to create more opportunity. You just have to do it. Every challenge you guys overcome, every time you face a fear, that's what grows your self-esteem. That's what grows your excitement. That's what makes your belief level grow in yourself, when you push yourself out of your comfort zone and overcome those challenges and fears. You've got to fail forward to get better. He talks about that in this book too. You've got to fail forward to get better. You need to get excited about the fact that you will fail multiple times on your way to whatever you're trying to do in your life to see success. But you need to fail forward, using failure as an opportunity to learn and to improve and not give up, right? So, you have to stay in this constant state of growth, where failure is just a learning experience to move you forward on your journey to the next place. I don't even mentally comprehend failure anymore. I just see it as data. I see it as an experience. I see it as something I'm going to need to learn from. And then it's going to basically optimize my efforts and my work and my activity to get where I want to go next. You got to be open to coaching. He talks about that in this book too. The habit that I personally think separates winners from losers is being coachable. End of story. Don't limit yourself to what you've learned or what you believed or accomplished in the past. A person who is highly coachable but less skilled and educated can still outcompete other smarter, more skilled individuals. Do you guys believe that? Do you believe? I am no rocket scientist over here. I barely graduated high school. I promise you, there are people that join Lavelle every day that are so much smarter than me, but they never got started, or they never even hit a rank. Why? Why didn't I? Because I'm open, I'm coachable. And guess what? I've got a different kind of mindset going on, right? It's called self-development. You need to condition your brain to always get better and to do something smarter. Never say this won't work for me. Oh my God, you know what drives me nuts? I know this already. So when a mentor or a coach or someone in your life tries to teach you something new that you can apply to maximize your results, Resist saying things like, I know that already tried that. You should focus on asking, what can I learn from this right here, right now to further my results? Do you see the difference there? One belief system says, I know this already. I don't need to pay attention, listen, or try to learn. But the better belief system says, what can I learn from this right now to improve my results and maximize my success? Nothing drives me more crazy when I get somebody in my inbox and everything I throw their way, they say, oh, I already tried that, did that, done that. Nope, then you didn't do it the right way. Then you haven't tried it long enough. You haven't tried it hard enough. You haven't tried it exactly like I just said. Like, you're looking for reasons. If that's your answer every time you go to a mentor and it's throwing in their face, yep, did it, done that, been there. No, you are not coachable. You are not teachable. And you are definitely not having the mindset of somebody that wants to see success. You have to have an open mindset and an eagerness to learn and apply what you learn despite any knowledge you have gained in the past. Period. End of story. Be coachable, be teachable. Another topic talked about was encourage criticism and create feedback. To maximize your success, you want to always look for productive criticism, feedback, ideas to get better, right? To get better just as a person, to get better as a leader, to get better in your business. Kind of conducting an accurate self-assessment or a self-audit. It's so important to do, but so difficult to do because we all assume too many things to be true. By that, I mean factual, without enough data or a sufficient basis in that belief. Like, usually your let's say your upline or a customer or your downline knows what's wrong or how you can improve, but they don't want to tell you because they don't want to offend you or hurt your feelings. This doesn't mean that they are always right, but more often than not, they are. We just don't want to hear it. Yeah, I was just telling, when I was at a retreat this past week, I was just telling everybody that when I was with my last business, I literally sent out this survey monkey, and it was completely 100% anonymous. And it was basically, tell me what you don't like about me. Tell me how I can improve. Tell me how to make things better. All of that. Dude, I cried for like 2 weeks. When people knew it was anonymous, and it truly was, I mean, people let loose on me. And at first my reaction was, this is bullshit. I don't do that. All the things that we do. But then after I had time to sit down and think about it, I knew that a lot of what they were saying was true. Like, I remember one of the specific things, and some of you guys that know me will probably still agree to this. I work on it, but it's still an issue. A lot of people said that I talk over people. And I was like, that I cut people off, that I think what I have to say is more important than what they have to say. And it truly was. For me, I didn't think that way. I'm just the type of person that if I don't say what I need to say, I'll forget what I was going to say. So I have to hurry up and say it. So I would cut people off so it wouldn't leave my mind. Never in a million years did I think that I was making people feel less than. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't realize it was affecting people the way it was. It's important to have a feedback loop from your downline, from your upline, your customers, your prospects, so you can understand what you're doing or what you could do better. Constantly ask yourself, is this the best possible way to achieve the outcome I want? I like to leverage the mindset that I'm wrong with this idea or thought, and work across the company to validate or invalidate that assumption. If I can be wrong less frequently, then I'm on the right path to success. Pay close attention to negative criticism and feedback. Instead of ignoring it and letting your feelings get hurt, you have to listen to it very carefully and respectfully. Learn from the feedback and figure out how you can adjust your actions and behaviors to maximize your successes and the results you're getting. And to make your business better, right? To make you better, to make you a better person. I promise you, when you do those things, not only do you grow, but your team respects you a lot more. You know, don't be that leader that, or someone people are scared to come to. You have to really be careful about your reactions, because if you create that fear, then you just push people away, and people on your team don't think that you respect their feelings and thoughts, but they also don't feel that they can come to you about something and you don't want to be that type of person, because the only way you can grow and learn is to have that open feeling of, let your team know. Have you ever said that? Have you ever gotten on a Zoom and said, hey guys, I want to be better. I promise you, please let me know what I can do, how I can change. Is there anything that's offending anyone? I want you to know that if you come to me, it will not be held against you. And I truly want to grow. I am open, and you have to be ready though, because when they do come, you have to, no matter what you want to say inside or how you're feeling, or even if you think what they're telling you is total bullshit, you've got to go, okay, I'm going to take that, and I'm making a mental note here, and I want to try to improve. Thank you for, sharing that with me. And you can't like go, now I'm going to treat so-and-so like shit. I'm going to give her the silent treatment for the next couple of weeks because she told me what she really thought. Like, it's hard. It's hard not to be a normal human that wants to react all those ways that you reacted before you got into this industry, before you did all this self-development, because the normal person without self-development reacts to everything the way they want to react. They're not thinking about other people's feelings. They're thinking about themselves. So the other thing this book pointed out that I wrote down that I thought was huge to point out was, picture one person you can help. Anything that you want to do in this life, you just need to ask yourself, can I help just one person? I know I used to let fear and other people's opinions and thoughts and my own fears hold me back from accomplishing my goals and my dreams. And then I had this epiphany. If I'm helping someone, or if I can help just one person, then it's worth it. Like, it's all worth it. Guess what? My life before, waiting tables and bartending 80 hours a week, I don't think ever once, ever did I affect somebody's life hugely. Do you want decaf or regular? I mean, that was about all the options that I could offer somebody. Like, I never left work going, wow, I truly made a difference today in someone's life. No. So to be able to go, look, is it worth it if I can help just one person? And the value of what we do, guys, the reality of and the value of what we do is that chances are you're going to affect way more than just one person. 5, 10, 20, 40, it's up to you. If I help that one person, then I find the answer to help thousands of others with the same problems. I think boiling it down to a real or an imagined person who faces their fears makes it easier to envision how to get to that next place, to help that next person. And I think it also makes it about more than your emotions. Makes it about somebody else's emotions too, which I think is super helpful. So I wanted to point that out. He says, picture one person you can help. Take feedback and run with it. Feedback can be tough. Taking feedback can hurt, especially if it's critical. But when someone points out a legitimate flaw in your beliefs, or points out incorrect actions that you're doing or that you're not taking, they aren't really criticizing you. They're presenting a better alternative. I think our ability to take feedback and apply it truly can make or break your business. 1000%. Here's a shocker for y'all. There are some people who might know more than you. Here's another shocker. You and I are not perfect. And I have one more for you. You and I can always get better no matter what. Feedback can come from all sources, those above us, but also those below us. Never discount it, no matter who it's coming from. With the right feedback, you can duplicate your results faster than if you go alone, period, end of story, point blank. Now, is taking feedback easy? Not always, not for everyone. Depends on how far you've come along in the self-development area, but it's not always going to be easy. The more you self-develop, the easier taking feedback does get. I promise you that. Here's a trick I've learned. I want you guys to write down as it's happening. Get it out of your head. It slows the emotion. It makes you less defensive, and you take some ownership in it. Then ask for examples of how to apply it. Write that out too. You should be seeking feedback and applying where it makes sense. And if anyone can prove and show to me that I think in error, I will gladly change it, for I seek the truth. Marcus Aurelius. If anyone can prove and show to me that I think in error, I will gladly change it, for I seek the truth. Love that. You never lose in life. You either win or you learn. You never lose in life. You either win or you learn. Start doing kind of reviews at the end of your day on every move you made when it comes to business. Why did it go good? Why did you win today? Why did you lose today? Why did you do well? How did I just sign that new promoter? What did I do to do that? How did I sign that new customer? What did I say? I think in sales, I always ask myself, what could be improved to increase my chances of signing more people, to do that again? I want to make that happen tomorrow and the next day and the next day. I never want to say there's nothing else I could have done. I mean, I think it should signal a red flag in anyone's mind, or be on your bullshit meter. going off an answer like, there's nothing I can do better. There's nothing to improve. That's bullshit. Y'all know it. Like, we all can improve. I don't care how long if you don't think you can, then you've got issues. You need more self-development. There's always something that you or I could do better on every single thing that we do, whether we win or we lose. There was a way to make it better. That's why you guys should be reevaluating, what did I do today and how can I make that even more efficient? How can I sign someone even quicker? How can I avoid these things that happen along the way to that sale for the next time? Here's, you guys, the 1% rule. This is so good. I wrote this down because this book, he's so right. Imagine if you improved 1% every day. Just 1% a day. By the end of the year, you would have increased your results by 260%. There are roughly 260 business days in a year. If you improve by 2% every day, by the end of the year, you would have increased your results by 520%. If you improve 3%, then it would be 780%. The multiplier effect speaks volumes, and the data will always be teaching you something new. I want to talk about that for 1 second, because I think sometimes we get so overwhelmed thinking we need to do all these things at once. And if you guys have never read The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy, he talks about how the little things you do every single day add up into huge things. And it is the truth. Stop trying to grow 20,000% a day. Stop trying to do these like monstrous things. You know what? I think I'm going to go learn TikTok today. Okay, I'm sorry, but it's just not going to happen. I'm going to go learn all the social media platforms tomorrow. No, 1%. You know how little that is? But do you know by the end of a year, you've grown 260%, 365% if you did it every day? Like, that's a difference, y'all. Now, that day, it might not seem like a difference. Oh, I did a live video of my cat. I finally did it. Yeah, that's not going to seem like anything in the grand scheme of things. But what about the next day you actually went live and showed your face? And then the next day you actually went live and said something. And the next day you actually went live and interviewed somebody. Like, it all adds up. He says in this book, you have to revel in the dark moments to appreciate the stars. I specifically wrote that down because I really liked it. It's always the darkest before the light, right? I've made a lot of money. I've lost a lot of money as an entrepreneur. Every time before making a lot of money, it was the worst period of my life for some reason. But I didn't quit. I believe that if I just kept going and fighting and didn't give up, that it would happen. And it did. It always does. If the past year was hard for you, I get it. I relate. The past 2 years, y'all, since COVID, I've been there over and over and over again. And I promise you, you got to keep fighting. Don't quit on me. I'm not going to quit on you. Don't quit on me. You got to turn I can't into I can. You can do anything. Never say that you cannot do anything. That's a loser's mentality, you guys. A winner's mentality believes that they can do anything. And a 7-figure sales earner mentally believes they can do anything. Whenever you think that you can't do something, repeat it to yourself out loud and say, I can do anything. All right. Affirmations, guys. Whenever I start saying I can't, or whenever I start having negative thoughts about a big goal or something I'm thinking about doing next, I just start repeating out loud, I can do anything. I write it down 10 times. I put it on sticky notes. I hang it around my house. It's a great mental reminder that there is nothing you cannot do in this world. Don't believe anyone, even yourself, that you cannot do something you truly want. You got to adopt a positive and optimistic attitude about everything in this life. That's if anything, self-development is teaching you, it's teaching you that your thoughts become things. They truly do. Don't sweat the setbacks. We all have made mistakes. We all have had setbacks. If you haven't yet, I promise that you will. Sometimes they're super big setbacks, and sometimes they're so small. Sometimes we make the same mistakes over and over and over and over and over again. I know I have. It takes me like 10 times and I'm like, okay, I guess that really isn't working. Okay, time to move on. The one thing you need to understand, however, is that encountering setbacks and making mistakes is okay as long as you learn from them. Don't spend too much time thinking about the mistake. Analyze what went wrong, learn from the setback, think about, okay, how can I do this differently? Apply the learning to maximize your growth. Don't sweat the setbacks. Just keep going. Giving up on your goal because you guys had one setback is like slashing the other 3 tires in your car before you got one flat. You would never, ever do that. Get over it. And don't ever, 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 ever give up. You have to get excited about fear and rejection and then run to it. Once you guys get that concept, oh boy, you're going to be good to go. I've trained my mind to get excited about fear and rejection. And when I sense them, I force myself to run to it versus away from it. This habit took me more than a long time. Like I would say fear still sets in, but I go after it. I don't let it stop me. Before I let it stop me in my tracks. In fact, for 36 years, I avoided all situations where I might have to speak in front of other people because I was that scared of public speaking. When you keep running towards fear and rejection by trying new things and executing new ideas, then that you've never executed before, your brain will freak out and get scared about others hating the idea and rejecting you. This comes from our brains looking for safety, trying to save us. Our brains want us to feel safe and loved and belonged. It's I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Abraham Maslow. It's called the hierarchy of needs. And basically he says that we have actualization, the desire to become the most that we can be. Then there's self-esteem, respect, self-esteem, recognition, strength, love and belonging, friendships and wanting people to care about us and love us, safety needs, personal security, psychological needs, air, water, food, all of that stuff. Anyways, he talks about, we basically fuel our lives by those needs. And if anything in our brain thinks that that's going to um, hinder those needs or hurt us or stop those things from happening, we automatically go into flight or fight mode, right? Where, oh, okay, danger, Will Robinson, like, I'm going to stay out of this situation, because if I don't, then that could possibly lead to a bad place. But if you guys know anything about fear and rejection, and if you've studied this long enough and then started stepping out into that fear and into the unknown, you realize that it's kind of like when you're little and you realize all these bad things, like when you're scared of something, but then when you actually go do it and it's not as bad as you thought, 99% of the time, what you expected to happen is not what happens. And you realize after you did it, it wasn't so bad. The thing with fear, I mean, I think for most people is that it really never happens. Like, whatever we were thinking was going to happen, it doesn't. And if it does, who gives a shit? Who cares? You'll learn from it and try again, smarter the next time. You have to fight fear with action. Fear equals false evidence appearing real. Have you guys ever heard that before? I have killed more goals, dreams, paychecks, other people's goals and dreams, aspirations, because of fear than anything else in my life. And you probably have too. We fear that we won't be able to do it. We have fear about what other people's going to think of us, or we fear losing time or money or energy. We fear getting hurt. We fear losing loved ones. We fear trying and then never being successful. News alert. All these fears that we come up with in our heads, they're not true. These fears are considered false evidence appearing real. None of my fears, honestly, you guys, none of them have ever come true. Actually, the opposite, the total opposite. The faster you guys can realize that fear means you are headed in the right direction, you should use anything that you need to do in your mind to push yourself into those fears and into doing something and trying new things. Because I promise you, take it from me and I don't know, 200 other 200Ks I could interview right now that would tell you that it was everything that they were ever afraid of never turned out that way. And not only that, but it was pushing themselves into those fears that created the growth. Period. If you are staying in your comfort zone, you guys have seen the circle before drawn out where it shows here's your comfort zone. Growth happens outside of your comfort zone. It's the truth. If you are always going to stay in that safe little bubble, then you are going to not make a lot of money. You are going, is it going to be comfortable? Sure. But you are never going to reach your full potential in any capacity, not just money, but in all capacities of life. I think the fastest way we can all work to overcome this fear is to realize that everyone else who was massively successful was also scared shitless and had to face huge fears to do what they're doing now and what they did. But they didn't let fear stop them. Neither should you. If all of these other people, they're not different than you. They're no special. They had just as many fears and concerns. They just pushed through them. That's the only difference between you and someone else. You are going to run into obstacles. You are going to fail, especially if you're trying to generate massive results. But you have to do it anyway and test what may not be as successful as other things. Whenever anyone tells you that it cannot be done, that is your signal to work harder. Just remember, success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It's the courage to give you every day what you need to do whatever it takes to get shit done. Massive action will destroy any fear you have. Don't give it time to get into your head. Massive action. Act. And win the game. You have to take the game-winning shot regardless of what's going on around you. Just take the shot every day, every hour, every minute, every second. Just take your shot right now, not tomorrow, not next week, not next month, not next year, not next quarter. Take the shot right now. Successful people don't go next year, next month. It's tomorrow, right now, today, this second. Never wait to get started. It's never too late to get started, and it's never too late to make your dreams come true. Period. End of story. And I want to read this really quick. You guys, hold on. I got to open this book and find it because I thought, what a great way to end today's Zoom with this. Okay. Consider the career trajectories of these people who hit the reset button in their lives. I saw this example via an article recently. At age 23, Oprah was fired from her first reporting job. At age 24, Stephen King was working as a janitor and living in a trailer. At age 27, Vincent van Gogh failed as a missionary and decided to go to art school. At age 28, J.K. Rowling was suicidal single parent living on welfare. At age 30, Harrison Ford was a carpenter. At age 30, Martha Stewart was a stockbroker. At age 37, Ang Lee was a stay-at-home dad working odd jobs. Julia Child released her first cookbook at age 39 and got her own cooking show at age 51. Vera Wang failed to make the Olympic figure skating team, didn't get the editor-in-chief position at Vogue, and designed her first dress at age 40. Stan Lee didn't release his first big comic book until he was 40. Samuel L. Jackson didn't get his first movie role until he was 46. Morgan Freeman landed his first major movie role at 52. Catherine Bigelow only reached success for The Hurt Locker at age 57. Just imagine how scared they were when they changed course to chase their dreams. Whatever you dream, it's never too late to achieve it. You can do it. That's it. All right. So I don't know who's ending us out today, but I will pass it over.
If you've never won anything, if you could please drop one of your biggest ahas that you got from Lisa this morning. After our 100 days of peace, she can pick us a winner. And I believe it is, oh goodness, Skye. Are you reading this morning?
I am. Okay, so today we are on day 12. Trust God's timing. I waited patiently for the Lord. He turned to me and heard my cry. From Psalm chapter 40, verse 1. The Bible teaches us to trust God's timing in all matters, but we are sorely tempted to do otherwise, especially when times are tough. When we are beset with problems, we are understandably anxious for a quick conclusion to our hardships. We know that our problems will end someday, but we want them to end now. God, however, works on his own timetable, and his schedule does not always coincide with ours. God's plans are perfect. Ours most certainly are not. So we must learn to trust the Father in good times and in hard times, no exceptions. Elizabeth Elliot advised, we must learn to move accordingly to the timetable of the timeless one and to be at peace. And Billy Graham observed, as we wait on God, he helps us use the winds of adversity to soar above our problems. So today, as you face the uncertainties of everyday life, do your best to turn everything over to God. Whatever it is, he can handle it. And you can be sure that he will handle it when the time is right. Some of our quotes today. Will not the Lord's time be better than your time? By C.H. Spurgeon. By his wisdom, he orders his delays so that they prove to be far better than our hurries. C.J. Spurgeon. Waiting on God brings us to the journey's end quicker than our feet. Mrs. Charles E. Coleman. God is in no hurry. God is not a slave to the human clock. Compared to the works of mankind, he is extremely deliberate. By Charles Swindoll. For further reflection, Psalm 27:14. Oh my goodness. I'm not quite sure on this one. Isaiah 30:18 and then 40:31. And today's prayer. Dear Lord, your timing is seldom my timing, but your timing is always right for me. You are my Father, and you have a plan for my life that is grander than I can imagine. When I am impatient, remind me that you are never early or late. You are always on time, Lord, so let me trust you always. Amen.
Thank you very much. And that one for further reflection was Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 1 and chapter 8, verse 6. Thank you so much, Skye. And Lisa, do you have a winner for us?
Yeah, April Yeager, send myself or Shannon or whoever, send us your address and we'll send you a graphic of what you can choose from.
Yep.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner. And by the way, I
see
sent
y'all
out
later. Do more today than what you did yesterday.
I sent out every prize, you guys. So everyone should be getting their stuff if they have not already that has earned something. If you don't get it, you'll get it this week. Like, period, end of story. It's been sent out. Okay. Love you guys. Have a good one. We'll see you guys Wednesday.
Awesome. Thank you.